Yo, 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 yo. We're back again. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Deandra.
And we are pulling our handicap card.
Feels like we haven't done this in forever, but we back.
And today, I think I'm going to make my wife mad, you guys. Not on purpose. But one reason why we started this podcast is because at the beginning, I feel like I was discriminated against when it came to a job and a company and, you know,
I mean, we've done a podcast on it before. You can say,
yeah, I forgot about that. The
Yeah.
Germany thing. Yeah. So, when that happened, I think, like, this is my perspective of it. Everybody around me kind of got uncomfortable and didn't want me to apply for jobs. I'm not saying my wife, but I'm just saying everybody else. Everybody else kind of like didn't want me to apply for new jobs in fear of being turned down or discriminated against.
And rejection, too, I think.
And rejection. But I think I handled that situation well.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't let the rejection really get me down. Yes, it pissed me off, of course, but I wasn't like mad or hateful or evil at the situation. It just wasn't meant. And like kind of looking back at it, I kind of feel like, you know, me and my wife needed this time to get to where we are. And leaving would have been a setback at that time. So, and I didn't want to leave my wife in the current situation that we have at home.
Yeah.
So, a couple of months later, now, what are we, 2 or 3 months later?
Yeah, that was like January going into February, and it's now April.
So, a new company has came along, and I have emailed the heck out of them about me having spina bifida and a new opportunity. And they're like, well, we're not putting you through anything like training camp like the other company did. You just go in and you'll do 1 day of NDOC and you report to work. Forgot to say this part, that it is all the way in Alaska. But it's almost $25,000 more than I make now. And I just think, you know, it's the perfect opportunity for me to grow as a person. And I just think in my field, the field that I'm in, I'm stuck at a point where it's either only thing I can do now to go up is become a supervisor or travel. Kind of like the travel and nurse thing. Only thing I can do is travel or just become a supervisor. So I'm really looking forward to the traveling part while we don't have kids, and when we can make the best of the opportunity that's being presented to us. It's definitely going to be tough trying to travel and not have my wife on my side. But I think if we're going to do it at any time, now is the time. And the company that I'm going with, Deandra said that company that she's previously worked with or worked for has worked with this company as well. This is a very reputable company. So I just think getting my foot in the door this way would be great. So after I plead my case, I'm going to let Deandra talk.
What you mean, plead your case? I mean, what do you want me to talk about?
What's your feelings? What's your thoughts?
My honest, true feelings, or my jazz it up for the podcast family thoughts?
Why would you? We are raw and unedited. Why would you?
Okay, so let's get into it.
Let's go.
So, okay, so let's go back to the Germany thing. That was one of the most challenging things in our marriage thus far, I believe. It was extremely hard for me to witness my husband experience discrimination, rejection, all of the above. Now, granted, he took it much better than I thought he would. But initially, when he called me to tell me what was going on, I was scared. Like, I didn't know how he would respond to that. I didn't know how it was going to affect his mental health. I didn't know. I mean, there were so many I don't know, and he was so far away from me. I couldn't even wrap my arms around him and tell him it's going to be okay. So that was very tough for me. Now, granted, like I said, Brandon took it like a trooper. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, he felt some type of way about it. But I mean, I go extreme. I mean, I don't know. I was afraid that his thoughts would be like, I'm giving up. Not really suicidal, because he's never expressed suicidal type of things, but I could see how that could just be like, I mean, we had a going away party for him. All of our family and friends thought that we were moving to Germany. Like, it was more than just being denied a job. You know what I mean? Like, Brandon sold one of his cars. Brandon pulled out of business. So this was a major life-changing event for us, and then for it to not go the way that we planned was kind of devastating. So once that went through, fell through, we got through the motions of it, and Brandon was getting back to himself, and it's like, okay, different route, we rerouting, it's fine. I was just kind of like, there was a sigh of relief. We actually got a phone call from a close pastor friend that Brandon has, who essentially like prophesied into our lives, and was just kind of like, it was weird. It's kind of like hindsight. He was just like, hey, you're thinking about doing X, Y, and Z. It's not going to be good for you. This is not what God has for you in this moment. He has something greater for you later on this year, just not right now. And he was very specific about... Shut up. He was very specific about how that transition would have affected me. And to be honest with y'all, it scared me, because I'm like, Brandon, we were there. Like, he was calling saying, don't make this move, not knowing that it had already fallen through. But prior to this call, if he was not denied the job, we were there. Like, he was lined up to go to Germany. I was coming to Germany. And to hear this man say, like, God has shown me how your wife is going to respond, and being realistic, I was like, you know what? I was trying to suppress that. But yeah, I probably would have responded that way. So it scared the crap out of me. So fast forward a couple of weekends ago, Brandon goes out of town with his best friend, and he shoots me a text like, hey babe, look at this email. This company just sent me, whatever. Brandon gets job offers like every other week. So I'm like, okay.
But with that being said, like, I hadn't been applying to any other jobs. Right. This came out from, and even in the email, they were like, previously you've applied for something. My bad. I just had to put that out there. I had stopped applying for jobs.
Right. At this point, he was not applying. But again, it's not rare for Brandon to have a recruiter reaching out to him. Like, we saw your resume online, or we had your resume on file, or, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at it, and I'm skimming through it and whatever. And it's like Alaska. And literally my response to him was, Brandon, are we really about to do this again?
Before that, though, you're the reason why I actually looked into it, because before that, whatever you just said, I was like, nah, I ain't going to look into it because it's going to turn out like the last one. And you was like, it may not.
I may have, who knows? I don't know.
I can go back to it.
I feel like, shut up. I don't need your receipts. I'm not denying that I didn't say that. I feel like I try my best to be a very supportive wife.
You do.
So I'm sure I did say something like that. But at the same time, for me, the only thing that kept replaying in my head was that conversation with Mike. Like, I kept hearing him say, your wife is going to resent you. Your wife is going to resent you. And really being realistic and thinking about it, I'm like, hell yeah, I probably would have resented his ass. You know what I mean? So that was why my response was, are we really going to do this again? Because it was a sigh of relief for me when all of that went away. He came through and told us about, his dream or whatever. I was just kind of like, oh my God, like, God is real. Like, that could have been a turning point in our marriage. Like, thus far, we have been blessed. We've been good. We on one accord. And just knowing that could have really took our marriage to God knows where, in my mind, I was like, thank you, Lord. Like, thank you for protecting us. Thank you for covering us. Like, we were on our way to taking a step that wasn't from you, basically.
Right.
So in my mind, you traveling wasn't for us. right?
No.
In my mind,
Oh, okay.
that's what I was thinking. So when you sent that text, I'm like, are we really doing this? Like, did you forget what we just talked about? You know what I mean? But we are a very prayerful couple. This is probably the biggest disagreement we've had. Now, we haven't argued about it at all, but we have definitely, Brennan is like, yo, I think this is the move. And I'm like, yo, I don't think this is the move. But it's been that subtle. It hasn't like come to blows. Now, I ain't gonna say that it ain't gonna come to blows. It might.
It's
Who
too
knows?
late now. I'm waiting for the daggone job offer right now.
Who knows? But we have been, this is the first thing we haven't been on the same page about initially. Now we have sat down and we've talked about it in details. We've sliced it and diced it everywhere that you can. I mean, I still think we got a couple of things to look at. But at the end of the day, again, I try to be a super supportive wife. My husband has told me why he thinks this is the move, how we're going to make it work. Like he has presented his case, as he said, you know what I mean? And I feel like I have no legitimate reason to tell him no. Selfishly, yes, I could say, babe, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to need you. Whatever. I have all these selfish reasons why I can tell him no. But at this moment, his argument is much stronger than mine. He has looked at the financials. He's looked at where this could potentially take us and help us grow. All of my pain points, he has given a solution to. So at this point, I don't have a true argument other than I'm going to miss the shit out you. Now, that could still take us sideways, but
it shouldn't though. Like, I feel like I feel like a lot of successful people that I know, as far as successful relationships, it's been some kind of split, and I could be just biased because a lot of people that I know are in the military or have been in the military, whatever, and not comparing it to them or anything, but I mean, I just feel like this is just going to put us in a better situation all the way around. I feel like at some point we're going to have to make sacrifices for our relationship. Right. And I feel like this time with us having no kids and not too much of a huge responsibility, I feel like this is the time now where I can make more money, hopefully have a better insurance. I haven't seen their insurance, but when I talk to the recruiters, they, seem to be really confident in their insurance. Most of the time when I talk to recruiters, they like, man, the insurance is like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Just want to, whatever. They like, we in the top 5. They stay with their chest out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just a unique opportunity. And never in my life have I ever said, hey, I want to go to Alaska. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all of the things that can come out of this. And I know you're not really thrilled about going to Alaska, but I think we as a couple could grow so much from the weekends that we spent together in Alaska. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really think it's it's the brighter picture, Mm-hmm. And then I think about it like this, and I'm not super spiritual or, but, I believe in God, and I'm very, close to God. I talk to God, but I just, when I remember laying on that bunk in North Carolina, and after they had told me that I need to go back to the room, I asked God, I said, God, if anything comes up and I can get this opportunity again, because for me, it was like, I'm going to be able to take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? And not saying I can't take care of my family, but this is a whole nother comfortable situation. It's going to be uncomfortable because we're not together. But with the money that I'm making, I can do so much for me and you. And I can't sit here in Huntsville and make that money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Without, extra side hustle or starting another business or whatever, because I done pulled out my business. So yeah. I can't sit here on my job and make that money. Right. So it just gives me that manly feel that I can take care of you. And if there's a little one to come along, I can take care of you guys And this company has a lot of great benefits as far as getting your foot in the door. Once you get your foot in the door, it sounds like, that's how they hire. They hire within. And I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel really confident about this. I was a little nervous and shaky about Germany. Remember, I was like, don't tell nobody, don't tell nobody. But we end up telling people anyway. But I get a better feeling from this. Now, what I'm not confident about is my capability to get the hell away from bears and moose. But I'm willing to try it. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to see what is going on, and it's a job. I can always pick up and be like, hey, fuck this job. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really think it's gonna be like that. I really like, as watching like TikToks and YouTube and stuff about like Anchorage, Alaska. I really don't feel like it's gonna. I don't feel like it's gonna be like magic and bubbles either. But I really feel like it's going to be the next step in my life where I need to go.
Yeah, and the thing for me, like, hearing the passion in Brandon's voice about it is enough for me. And like I said, he's done the research. He's put together the plan. We have an exit strategy, because that is one thing that my hard no is him being over there forevermore. Like, at the end of the day, you got a wife and a family at home, and we are in agreement on that. I told him the only thing I can commit to is 6 months. I can give you 6 months to go live your dream. You better make all the money you can in 6 months, save it, do whatever, because I need you back home in 6 months. Now, when 6 months get here, we can revisit it. I ain't gonna lie, that might be what take us left if he be like, well, babe, I want to go ahead and stay these extra 6 months. Run me your hands, Brandon. Let's fight. But we'll see that when we get there. But at the end of the day, as his wife, like, hearing the passion, seeing how much he wants to do this, the amount of energy he's putting into researching it. Who the hell am I to tell him no? Like, I'm not a controlling wife. People say to me all the time, like, you let Brandon do this and you let Brandon do that, and that really pisses me off. I tell people all the time, this is a whole grown man over here. Like, I do not control him. My husband has the courtesy of asking me things just out of respect, and vice versa. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I've ever told Brandon, like, well, you have to ask me about that, or why I said no. Like, that's just not how we function in our relationship. And obviously this is bigger than just can I don't know, spend the weekend with the boys, but
I don't ever put you in that situation. If
correct.
if anything happens, I'm calling you like, hey, this finna go down. Is it okay with you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if it's not, then hell, it's not. Like, I'm do what I got to do.
Yeah, we have a humongous mutual respect for one another. But again, obviously this is so much huger. Like, we're talking about him being hours and hours and hours away. But at the end of the day, so the same way I don't want to resent him, I don't want him to resent me. Like, he is passionate about this. Who am I to stand in the way of his dreams? Because I know when it came down to my dreams of starting my business, he was 100% behind me. Whatever I need when it comes to my business, or just anything I want to do, like, Brandon is just like, that's a you decision, babe. Like, if that's what you want to do, then that's what we're going to get on board and do, and we'll figure it out. So I want to be that person for him. Like, yes, it's going to be a huge sacrifice. Yeah, I'm going to have a damn attitude some days. Don't call me. Like, not you, but like my family, don't call me. Because, some days I'm going to have attitude. But it just is what it is. Like, I think the greater good of the opportunity is worth the sacrifice. But I'm only sacrificing for 6 months because I need my baby.
I feel you, but...
Because, see, we finna fight now.
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, we'll get there. We'll get that point.
Brandon, don't play with me. 6 months.
We're gonna keep the podcast going though. We have enough recorded that when I come home once a month or whatever, we will make sure that we recording and pushing out. We're gonna keep the podcast going.
Yeah, we'll have more to talk about.
We'll have a lot more to talk about. I'm gonna get DeAndre to try caribou and moose and bear.
I will not.
She's saying she won't, but
I'm
I guarantee
not going to Alaska. I'm going to Alaska to help you set up, and then you will bring your black ass home.
She going to Alaska, y'all.
I might. We'll see.
Anyway, y'all give me y'all opinion about this. Weigh in, let us know, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hold on,
let me
hit it.
Weigh in, but let me tell you this respectfully. because don't come with the bull. Because I'm going to let you know. Mind your damn business. They know how to like, comment, subscribe. It's cool.
My button ain't working.
See if your other button working.
Hey, what's up for Alaska?
All right, y'all. We so love and appreciate you guys. Make sure, as Brennan said, to like, comment, subscribe. Leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. Like, y'all be watching on Apple Podcasts, but ain't nobody got nothing to say? Let us know how y'all feel.
Right, and y'all ain't got no comments. Like, y'all just out here with no comments. Like, if I'm listening to not listen. But if I'm listening to a podcast, I want to be a part of the podcast. You know what? Some of y'all call in. Let's call in. We have y'all in on some of this. Let us know, what y'all want to talk about.
For sure.
All right, we out.